The Reaper. You don't mean... Van Lead, the murderer who used to live here. That's... There's no way! That can't be right! For once, Aurelia is correct. This is beyond absurd. Are you sure about this, witness? Mr. Lead has been dead for 5 years. His body was never officially found, but... No, I refuse to believe this. He can't still be alive. You were definitely mistaken, witness. Okay, to recap you, in case you missed last video, we finally pinned down Monopoly's discrepancy in his testimony, why he wasn't testifying with these other two blokes. And we pinned down that he had snuck away from the group, out a window, to the floor below this one, to try and do some sneaky shit. And he saw something rather unfathomable. Well, I don't know how likely that is. Monopoly. Uh-oh. Not only do you sneak off into places that aren't your business, not only do you cut holes into my goddamn property, now you join in on this ghost talk. Do you want me to never manage to rent this joint out again? Oh, I've had it, you backstabbing wretch. Holy shit. It's funny to you. Well, let me join in on the entertainment. Sir, no, Mr. Nealon, I never meant to. Want a good time that badly? I'll show you a good time. Ah! Get back here, you little punk. I just want to talk. I'm willing to settle. Auction off a limb or two and we're good. Holy shit. These darn kids and their little activities and their Pilates and their... my legs. So this is it. Our next big crash is coming. Not bad, lasses. You managed to drag out this trial until I died of... Why am I laughing? It takes some skill to stay irrational for longer than the stock market. Why am I laughing? He's passing out. Holy shit. That hitman is here? This is a joke, right? It's the Reaper's curse. That bearded fellow was right. Dr. Lead's ghost is mad because we wanted to steal his possessions. Oh boy. Order! Order! He's gonna kill us all! Let's out of here! Stop this trial, let us leave! It was impossible to restore order, so the trial was temporarily suspended. The fact that I was the one on trial took a back seat to the disturbing revelation by the witness. The Reaper. He couldn't possibly still be alive, could he? The thought alone twisted my gut and made me curse my decision to ever come to this tower. That was my health restoring. Bloodstain discarded. I did not expect that to make such a blaringly loud noise. Holy shit. That's a new function I don't remember ever actually seeing in Ace Attorney Online. That was blaringly loud. Thank you. Lilian, what the hell? There you are. That sure was a trial. You can say that again. Can't believe I survived. Not only is it hard to even put a dent in the facts, Victoria smelled blood and is pulling all the stops. Usually it'd only take a little pushback to trip her up, but I can barely manage that here. Can I go back to my dentist? That was less painful than this. Hey, it worked out so far. You found some alternate explanations for some things. And that witness testimony at the end is going to throw them for a loop. They'll eventually realize that they can reasonably call that irrelevant to my case. Case is strong as ever. I couldn't actually contradict the witnesses substantially. Is that what you think? By the way, you look pretty shaken by that revelation at the end. Don't tell me you started believing in curses. I mean, we're talking about the man I completely exposed as a criminal. I don't want to think about what he might do if he's still around. Gotta be careful what I say here. Right, I guess he'd have every reason to take revenge on you. Even though you simply exposed the truth, people really are unreasonable sometimes. They sure are. Speaking of that, there's something else from the trial I wanted to discuss. Serves you right, old crow. You didn't say that. But doesn't that mean the TV theory is actually correct? I guess it has to be. What's the issue with that? You should know the issue. Was the TV actually on? Do you remember? I was occupied struggling with a manager. I couldn't really tell. Fine, but did you really fire your gun or not? Well, it's hard to tell during a struggle, but it's the only explanation that makes sense. Really, it's hard to say whether you fired a gun. Then isn't it plausible the gunshot only got played on TV, like you theorized? The victim wouldn't have collapsed if I didn't fire. At least consider it. Why do you want it to be self-defense so badly? Because the alternative can only mean one thing. Sometimes a lie is better than the truth. Only if you can keep believing the lie. I'm sorry if it makes you upset, but this is for the best. You happily exposed Mr. Poley's lies, despite the consequences he suffered for it. Okay, I really had no choice there. Let's stay fair. I had to keep the trial going with something. Well, you sure looked like you were enjoying yourself, though. Could it be because deep down you actually knew it was the right thing to do? Just try to think about it. I was enjoying it? No, that can't be right. In the end, his acquaintances lost trust in him. Nobody walked away from that a happier person. There must have been a better possible outcome than whatever cold justice the truth gave us here. You didn't used to think like that. Please, don't bring up anything embarrassing. Might have said some naive stuff back then. It wasn't naive, but whatever. Seems like we need to talk some more about this sometime. I get it. Gotta use this time to investigate more. About that. I'm not allowed to leave this room anymore. Seems like the plaintiff had the presence of mind to have me put under house arrest this time. Guess the case against you is a bit too solid now for them to forget again. Well, it's up to me then, isn't it? I'm counting on you. And Lilian, I'm sorry. I said a few careless things. Don't want to make excuses, but the pressure must be getting to me. Right, I get that. Oh. Humans lie. I understood that very early on in my life. I'm not upset. It's nothing. Don't worry. Petty, selfish lies. Well-meaning white lies. Rarely a day goes by on which people don't count their words in some falsehood. Somehow I've always been very good at telling. It was pretty fun as a kid. I was considered a bright child. Of course, things became more complicated. When people get older, they begin having secrets. Mistakes, embarrassing things, trauma. Stuff they'd rather keep to themselves. So everyone hides those things with lies. They probably began feeling threatened by me. There was a chance I might see through their lies, bearing all their vulnerabilities. And so my friends stopped being themselves around me. Oh. They put up extra walls, always careful what they're talking about. When that got too exhausting, they started avoiding me entirely. This couldn't continue, I thought. I had to adjust. It was my turn to have secrets. When they lied about being fine, I acted happy and relieved. When they cried and told a bad story of how they were wronged, I pretended to empathize. That's what I had to do, I thought. In order to be accepted by the world, I had to accept its lies. That was wrong, too. I didn't really get rid of the walls that way. The only thing that changed was who put them up. And so it was my turn to feel exhausted. Oh. And so it was my turn to start avoiding people. I buried myself in fiction. When it comes to written characters, I can't use my intuition to tell if they're lying or not. Most people read fiction to see something special compared to their everyday lives. Ironically, I was reading it to understand what it's like to be normal. Detective fiction was among my favorites because it usually featured the most liars. I would have thought this would have led to an uneventful life. Yet I still managed to get into trouble from time to time. Which brings me to a day in the school library. Huh? What'd you say? Hello, alarmingly detailed student. I said I didn't steal the librarian's bag. It was you. Get a load of this chick, guys. You're the only one who has checked into this place. Stop trying to pin the blame on others. You're lying. Oh yeah? Where's your proof? My proof is that you're lying right now. There she goes again, randomly calling people liars. Not cool. You projected or something? Hey there. Would you be interested in participating in... Get lost. Can't you see we're in the middle of something? Now listen here, buddy. I was going to offer you a chance to earn some honest money. You should try it sometime. Pays much better than petty theft. The hell? Ooh! Hello! Ma'am? Please, calm down, everyone. I probably misplaced my bag at home. Let's stop this blame game. Stop. I know you want to avoid conflict. Nothing good will come out of settling for a convenient lie. That wouldn't teach this guy's lesson. Man, so... if this is early Aurelia, then she sure took a turn. Some point after this, Reaper case. Why are you so sure of that? You simply misplaced your bag. Why would your missing credit card suddenly be used to pay $300? How do you know about that? I heard you mention your lost bag at the cafeteria. You said you had to buy less because you had a bit of cash inside it. That's strange because earlier you mentioned to some professors that you pay with card for everything these days. You don't even carry around money anymore. Huh, you're correct, but did I really mention that? It was a couple months ago. I guess you forgot. You remembered something like that? Who is this? That ain't got nothing to do with me, sis. It's just like I said, that girl's the only one who could have done it. You got any actual proof, or you just siding with her because she's a chick? You idiot. This is a school library, not Fort Knox. There's a ton of ways someone dedicated could have entered without checking in. Especially if it's a desperate punk who thinks his girlfriend will leave him if he can't afford a $300 dinner. Not. The hell? How'd you... What are you talking about? Oh, please. From day one, you've been joking about how it's time to be a broke single student. Only recently did you drop the single part when complaining to your friends. It's that cyan-haired girl, isn't it? I remember her from my sociology lecture. I got no idea what you're going on about. Come now. I think her name was Rose. She's really wasting her effort on her eyes, seeing how you certainly never look at those. You started swooning about this new guy she met. Apparently took her out for dinner the other day. Just around the same time, you suddenly changed your tone. Curious, no? What the shit? You been spying on us or something? Ain't none of your business. This doesn't prove nothing. You realize we can just check the payment record of the card? I wonder what your girlfriend will think about you doing this. Wait, don't you dare. That depends on you, buddy. I might reconsider you if you come clean. Fine, so I borrowed it. I had no choice, okay? This was the odd shot I had with her. Borrowed, huh? That means you're going to pay it back, right? The hell? You're going to pay it back, right? Or should we go report this? Of course, always meant to. You were saying something about some job? Get it. Figure it out yourself. Fine, as long as you don't tell my girl. Honestly, I'm going to tell her anyway. You thought I would just cover up your crime because it'd be more convenient? She deserves better than getting tricked by a punk like you. I'll remember this. Happy Pride Month. Ma'am? Thank you for your help. That was... Who are you? Don't mind it. Just some student who happened to pass by. Your name! Tell me now! Aurelia. Aurelia. That just now was... Yo! That was totally awesome, Aurelia! You were just like a detective! Oh my god! You showed him! Thank you? That's more enthusiasm than I expected. Not that I mind. You need to tell me how you did that. Alright. Nice to meet you. Let's go. Don't tear off my hand if you can't help it. If you can help it. Oh, that's precious. You can tell if someone is lying. I would explain what I walked in on earlier, I guess. I won't lie then. That's kind of hard to believe. How does that work? Intuition? I wish I could explain it. A lot of people think they're good at spotting lies, but, well, when it comes to really good liars, there aren't really many tells. They've trained their brains to the extent even a polygraph can't pick up on anything. Well, they must still be giving off some signs. I'm right at least 90% of the time. The guy earlier did seem like a chronic liar, so who knows? Maybe you do actually have superpowers. You called me a detective, but with something like that, you sound more than cut out for the job. Well, you saw what happened. I was trying to clear suspicion from me by finding the real thief, but fair enough. You obviously can't just walk up to people and accuse them like that. You need to actually sell it. I get that, but it's hard to do that. Like, when you don't know who did it, you can focus on where the clues lead you. But I can already tell someone's lying, so it's hard to make the effort to go look for proof. Okay. That's definitely a unique problem. Like someone who's used cheats for so long, they never learned how to play the game properly. Geez, thanks for calling it cheating. Well, if I didn't say my honest opinion, you'd probably be able to tell, no? True. Maybe you're right. It's not that much effort to call out lies. Whatever you did back there looked much more amazing. How did you remember random conversations from months ago and put them together like that? Do you have that thing, that special brain condition? Careful how you ask that. I don't have an eidetic memory or anything. Nothing special, really. Just a result from memory training tricks someone taught me. It works pretty well with random offhand stuff people mention. I can recall those pretty easily for a couple months. Nothing amazing, she says. Who would call stuff like that? I think you'd be an amazing detective. Well, I won't lie. I've thought about seeing how I'd do with something like that. Putting the pieces together, exposing the truth. It sounds pretty fun. Exposing the truth. Are you really going to tell that girl, by the way? Whenever I've tried to tell people that someone they care for is being dishonest to them, well, it can feel like I'm just invading someone's happiness. Doesn't really seem that fun. In mystery novels, it's always treated as the right thing to reveal the truth, but it can be painful to rip off a band-aid, but it's common sense to do it. It'll be much more of a jerk move not to let them know. You might be happier in the moment, but they'll keep living in a card house. It can come crumbling down at any time. The longer it takes, the more painful the crash. Yeah, well, you all gotta be wondering what the hell Aurelia encountered in this Reaper case that flipped her mindset around so violently. Only the real facts allow you to stand on solid ground. You are totally justified to hold them to the truth. Well, your kind of intuition might come with some, extra responsibility. As long as you're not a random jerk to people, you should be good. Is everything alright? I just got something in my eye. Now, I don't have your magical intuition, but that doesn't sound right. Fine. I guess I found your words moving. Anyway, I've decided. Let's do it. Let's do what? Oh, you know. Solve crimes together. We're going to teach this campus to fear our name. I'd be lying if I said that didn't sound interesting. What name should they fear, then? Huh? Our names? See, as I've said earlier, if you really want to convince anyone of anything, you need to sell it. Having a bit of a branding will go a long way. And to be honest, I feel like giving our new friendship a name will give it special meaning. It's purely a psychological trick, but, you're right. We need some type of team name to seal this deal. How about... Aurelia... Just putting our names together? I don't know about that one. That could be misunderstood. Oh, could it? You just tell me you think it's cringe. Your turn to suggest something, then. Maybe something more in line with our purpose, like, keepers of law and order. Dun 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 dun. That's just dull. I'm admittedly not that great at coming up with catchy stuff. You've given me an idea, though. The Queens of Crime. How's that? Oh, that's got some nice spice to it. Most implies we're part of the underground ourselves. Then it's decided. The Queens of Crime are officially let loose. I'll explain where I got that name from later. Okay, thank you for that narration, Lilian. For Aurelia, this was just another day she barely remembers now. But for me, it's a really important memory. I had finally met someone who I could be myself around. She also inspired me not to hide my true potential. Admittedly, I still kept getting into trouble with my newfound motivation, but that seemed fine now. I cared too much about making the world accept me, and that should never have been the point. So when did it all go wrong? Can't really say whether she put it up, or if I put it up myself, but it feels like there's now a wall between us that wasn't there before. I know. I've learned that everyone has some private stuff you shouldn't pry into. But the cynical way she talks about the truth now, I can't help but worry. My important memory. I don't want to believe the words you said back then meant nothing. There has to be a way to work this out. Ooh. Hello, Victoria. Excuse me, madam. What? Still alive there? You've been spacing out for quite a while. So you've just been staring at me, huh? I mean, sometimes there's nothing else to do in my job. Well, I'm sorry to break it to you, but your friend is kind of boned. Even this ghost sighting will only buy you so much time. Tell me something new. You might actually have some info on that if I prod him. You don't believe it's a real ghost? All this curse talk and now this. It's getting pretty spooky. No need to be scared, madam. Ghost and magic, that's pure fantasy. There's always a rational explanation. It's kind of tempting to show him this, but it'd be bad if it made him pass out. Still, there's a chance the infamous Dr. Lead is down there in the flesh, isn't there? I can promise you that's totally impossible. Between us, I'm up next to the stand to prove exactly that. Oh boy. Oh, you're the next witness? That's right. I'm sorry to say that, but my testimony is absolutely foolproof. It will be the nail in your friend's coffin. Sorry, madam. Just doing my job. Nice. Next testimony will be a breather. Ha! I don't buy it. How can you dismiss what Mr. Poley saw? Well, I'm not really supposed to tell you this, but... it's simple logic, really. Person in, person out. This tower has only one entrance, and yours truly is constantly watching it. With a simple look at the logs, it's easy to tell how many people are inside at the moment. someone fishy entered this building and then never left it again, I'd know about it. As for the people who came here today, my head count before the trial pretty much rules out any of them who were lurking down there. Oh, that's smart. Is it just me, or are you being nicer than before? Ah, totally just you. Too obvious, gotta tone it back. How long have you been working here, by the way? That's eyelashes. I know what you're trying to play at. You think there's still a chance the dude was hiding on that floor for a very long time, huh? Well, that's nonsense. You need a lot of water and food. I never saw anyone bring that many supplies. You're forgetting one thing. That floor could already have been stocked up with food, like a bunker. I guess that's an option. We're going to erase that option before the trial resumes. Oh, hello. Wow, look who it is. Our elusive plaintiff. Boss, I didn't reveal anything, I swear. It's alright. The odds were poor on that, so I never bet on you. Our chances of winning are so high that it doesn't matter if that woman learns of our plan anyway. Looks like she's willing to stick around now that Aurelia isn't here. This is my chance to figure out what's really going on with this trial. I mustn't screw this up. And we do that by putting her in the Dracula dimension. This lets me stop time and do telepathy. Good one. I know, right? Bad food. Eat something that leaves less of a mess. I'm vibing with you on this one, Chief. Confirmed weapon. One shot. This is as clean as can be. Another shot? No chance that's going to be relevant. Nah, stuff like that is always super relevant and means there's a complicated murder trick. We'll see. What it's worth, she seems to genuinely be confused by this. Imagine showing someone a photo of her mother's corpse. Couldn't be me. Can you explain this? Explain what? Mother took that along for self-defense. Liar. Gotta make her talk more about it. This was one of the auction items, right? It was. Your point? I felt you might be able to tell me more about it. You were cleaning all the items before they were sold. I was. Was there anything off about this knife or the sheath? I feel like one or two things are hecking sketchy about it. Especially the name that's written on the sheath. Not really. It was just a knife. Long blade, sharp edge, that's it. Not very thorough cleaning if you didn't notice the note inside. Nope, it's obvious she never handled that blade. It's strange, though. Why aren't your fingerprints on this? Should they? I didn't touch it after being done with it. That feels kinda overkill. When it comes to cleaning, thoroughness beats speed. You'll leave something behind with a careless attitude. Girl, you're straight up dropping things from your pockets. She's totally lying about the knife, but I don't got enough to call her, though. She never polished it. Does that mean her mother knew it wasn't gonna be sold? Maybe that one dude was right. The auction was rigged from the start. If I showed this to her, she'll totally snatch it away. Gotta be smarter than that. What could I even do with it then? Oh, okay, maybe I should ask other people if they could give me more information about this. You never know. Uh-oh. Uh-oh? Why uh-oh? Why uh-oh? High tech. I trust no criminal will escape this detective. Gone are the good old days when you could maybe get some fingerprints and that's it. Now you leave a single skin particle behind and get busted. No fun allowed. Point being that y'all play it on easy mode and I will gatekeep you for it. You're doing tasks, tool assistant sleuthing. Nothing to be proud of. Don't care. It's natural to use all means to stack the odds in my favor. Those sound like excuses from the frustrated losing side. I mean, shouldn't somebody point out this isn't a game? Stuff like pride and fair play shouldn't even be a factor. Shut up. Alright, you're the boss! It's fine. You better be ready when we bust the case the old-fashioned way. Oh? What's this? Could this be the key to the study? Where did you find that? No idea. I didn't think you'd fall for that. Same key. What a key. What a cheap trick. Don't test me. Do all the keys just look exactly like this or something? Pretty much. Maybe you should have put some labels on those. So you got no way to tell what door this mystery key is really for? Afraid not. The keys all look similar. But the coloration on this one differs slightly from the ones used for the doors. It likely belongs to a storage box or lacquer. Gotcha. It may be useful. Relevance absent. We need to find the real key. So it probably doesn't open another door to a room, but something else. Gotta keep my eyes peeled for that. Alright, we're getting info here. So she was the one who exposed Dr. Lead as a criminal. Makes sense. Takes one to know one. She's gonna get pissed if I argue with her on this. Which could be interesting, but I've got to use my time more wisely. I love Lilian. Cable TV. It should be possible to receive that here. That doesn't prove her theory is correct, though. Did you ever watch Reap What You Sow? I have. You should know that Ace totally says Old Crow in episode 7. I dropped it before I got that far. Oof! Terrible show. It's dirt. You only watched it ironically, I hope. Wrong opinion, Chief. Alright, it is hot garbage, but I like it. It's so bad it's good kind of show. I like that. I saw you lock the door, by the way. Why'd you do that? Nice try. I know a bluff when I see one. Paid attention? I didn't have a chance to do that. If it wasn't you, then who was it? The defendant. Accept it. That makes no sense, though. It's pointless. Buying time. She was desperate. If you say so. Nope. She doesn't really believe that. But she totally knows it was her mother that locked it. Interesting. I don't appreciate he left his suitcase behind. That's what you feel most offended by? Forgetting your possessions like that is how you gradually turn a room into a wasteland. Here's an idea. Just let him steal everything. That'll clean up the room. Interesting idea. Maybe I'll do that. Girl? For real? I don't care for this place anymore. They can rob it clean for all I care. Alright, but it's not my stuff nor my decision. You kinda get to act like you own the place right now, though. Fair enough. I like the sound this evidence make, if you catch my tune. Pure luck. It won't last. Did you deny there's another fork that could turn on the TV? There might have been 2 of them. Don't recall. Yeah, right. There totally is. Moot point. The gunshot wasn't faked. You can't argue the physical evidence. Hard facts. Once my lawyer reminds the court of that, we'll be back on track. I'm gonna tune out for that. Why, no, I won't stop doing these puns. Good. Excellent. Oh, I can move. Let's examine. Oh, no. Hi. Hey. Hi. Don't be like that. Leave. There was no worthwhile discussion to be had with you. Come on. Why should Aurelia get all the fun? Let me get in a word too. Aurelia is at least capable of sophistry. You decidedly lack any imaginable coherence. I get that it's not always easy to keep up, but don't you sometimes feel it's a shame we've never gotten along? We're the only ones who actually read all the mystery novels. It'd be nice to discuss some of the more obscure ones for once. Make fun of them together. Aurelia barely knows the mainstream stuff. And even then, she almost only ever sees the movie version. Critique from someone who does not understand a story is worthless. I will gladly talk about the themes of a novel and what they mean with someone, provided that they comprehend what it was about. Girl, we are talking about mystery novels. This ain't that deep. Thank you for proving the point. There's a basis to have, and you lack it. One day you call them lowbrow garbage, and next they're deep literary works. Make up your mind. Right. Like Schopenhauer always used to say, ain't got no time for the funnies. Are you done wasting my time? This is going precisely how I thought it would. We're all stuck here. You don't get to act like you've got places to be. Our physical space may be restricted, but that has no effect on the freedom of my mind. Your ill-advised contributions are keeping it tied down at the moment. Okay. Neat outfit, by the way. Frills aren't really my style unless you go full goth. But you put some thought into it. Gotta appreciate that. Are you even listening? Well, as fun as it sounds, just to keep annoying her, I feel I need to do a little more to win this case. Oh well, maybe another time. Catch you later, Vicky. Finally. Do not ever call me that again. Ooh, you can talk to Judge. While we're here. Hey there, Your Honor, what's up? Hello, Miss Maristella. I'm really thinking about these latest developments. The thought that Dr. Lee could still be alive is concerning indeed. I know, right? But you didn't see that twist coming. Certainly not, and I am used to quite a lot. So anyway, how much? How much? Of what? Money, of course. How much for a not guilty verdict? Lilian, please. I'm sorry, I don't think I heard you right. How much for a... And by that I mean I'm giving you a chance. I'm giving you a chance to not attempt judge bribery. Which is a crime, in case you weren't aware. All right, it was just a little test. There are so many rich guests here, so who knows? Some might think they can pay their way out of this. There was a time in the past where I almost let myself get compromised. After that experience, I have sworn to never let that happen again. This trial will be as fair as it can be under these circumstances. It seems genuine. I feel like I can trust he's not in on it. He's not in on any scheme. This whole thing is totally not rigged, at least. Good to know. See you next time I interrupt this trial. I'd ask you not to, but you look like the type that will do it anyway. Wow, you got me figured out. Well, I guess I'll simply hope that it's relevant then. He's barely bothered. Must be more used to this than I thought. He's seen a lot. Don't worry about him. Anyways. Can we poke Victoria again? Right now I need more clues. No way she's gonna give me any? Okay. Between the judge outside the trial, let's go collect some evidence first. Alright. What's the plan, Chief? The outcome of the trial is set in stone. No bets allowed at this point. My lawyer, she presented 3 decisive witnesses, only one of which was discredited. The only holdup being the unreasonable panic caused by Mr. Poley's final comments. Easy fix. I will allow a small group to visit the lower floor and dispel that sentiment. It's usually not accessible, but I will unlock it for that one-time trip. Sounds logical. Who's gonna check? Miss Hellinger. She insisted, and is an obvious choice for a thorough investigation. Mr. Gart would also be required to go, being our best option for safety. Wonderful. I mean, you can count on me to keep the madam safe. Fake enthusiasm. Don't bother. I agree this is likely an unproductive chore. But if we neglect to address this mess, it's going to stink up the trial. In that case, I volunteer to go as well. So you can mess with the results. Pointless risk. Why should I take that chance? You want the appearance of a totally fair trial, no? If you only send the people that are working for you, we're probably going to claim it's rigged. It's only right to also include a representative of the defendant. Fine then. Tag along. The defendant will stay put, of course. Cool! When do we start? Not yet. Dr. Hellinger still needs to take care of something at the crime scene. I want at least one more volunteer, preferably a neutral party. None willing. Odds are preparations will still take a while. Jeez, are all these guys cowards? Big wallets, but no balls. Ooh. You're cooking. Keep waiting. I'll announce when things are lined up. Okay. Guess I've still got time to do some stuff up here. Pretty impressive, this whole trial. I agree. My lawyer is doing great work. Debatable, but that's not the point. Fully exposed. Even the police won't be able to sweep it under the rug like this. Finally, some justice. At least for Mother. Yeah. Police bad, I got that. You don't sound like you do. Don't you think this is all a bit too convenient? A murder happens, and there just happens to be a lawyer, a judge, and a licensed investigator present. And you happen to have this idea to hold a civil trial that might barely check all marks for being legal. God must be on your side. That's quite the deus ex machina. Implication being, seems like direct confrontation is the way to go with this one. Nah, there's no way you had this trial planned out in advance. There's only one person who could do something like that. And who would that be? Well, you'd have to know that a trial would have even been needed, right? Only the culprit should have known that. This conversation is over. I understand. You're desperate to shift the blame, but this is insulting. And there's the age-old problem. I know she's full of BS. There's no way to make her admit it just like that. Not an easy one to crack. Maybe I should come back later. Someone else might give me an idea what to prod her about. Man, getting anything useful out of her might be harder than I thought. There has to be something else I can talk about. You like gambling? You into gambling, Miss Holden? Interesting idea. What gave you that impression? Well, I mean, this whole civil trial thing, it's basically like a giant gamble, right? I just got those kind of vibes from it. Enough for you to jump to that conclusion? How rash. It's the best thing I could come up with on this. I think it's the best thing I could come up with on the spot. It's probably because I mentioned something about our bets earlier to her. Once we did the entrance whenever you came by, boss. Yeah, that too. So you can be useful. Little bets. I do like to make them now and then. Aren't there more important matters to talk about? Oh, this is an important point. There's this totally common thing that happens to people who like gambling. They have a tendency to lose all their money. I'm so worried that might happen to you. Wait, it's not already too late, isn't it? You latch onto anything, don't you? No wonder. You're a friend of that murderer. My money, I know how to handle it. You worry about your own life. There we go. You could not have lied more obviously. This girl is totally strapped for cash. So she would probably welcome winning $1 million in a lawsuit. Of course, that's all just my intuition, and I doubt I can get her to admit it. But this could give Aurelia the angle of attack she needs. Gotta try to find more solid proof for this. Not sure I can get that out of her own mouth, though. Very interesting. That face. You weighed her a lot by showing me that. Want to mediate. She doesn't deserve this. I've come to bargain. Come back. Come back, never mind that, I'll stop. Right call. That keeps you barely in the game. Kinda did feel like that was a bad idea. Speaking of bad ideas, somehow I feel like that's not a topic to broach so bluntly right now. It might just be me. Our kidnapper can't be this cute. Wasted flattery. That won't get you out of this. And don't call me a kidnapper. No ransom. I explain. I got you, but still. I didn't feel it was possible, but maybe you're being too much of a girl boss. Come again. There's got to be less forceful ways to sort this case out. Your rooms. Do you keep them clean? I keep them functional. Got it. They're a mess. I could tell. It's not on me, I'm just a victim of entropy. Here's a trick. You won't get rid of a stain by asking it to cooperate. Aggressive action. It's the only way to keep things clean. Things never change and clean on their own. If you want something done, you have to do it yourself. She always used to say as much. Right, she's got a point. Even if she's still going too far. I can't rely on Aurelia too much. Gotta do my part to make this right. One mention, that's all it took to make everyone lose their minds. He's got a reputation, alright. The police, it's all because they didn't confirm there was a body. Hey, even if there was, it could still be a ghost. Don't start. I won't entertain this. Did you ever meet him, by the by? Because he was living in this place? My mother might have met him, not me. But property managers don't get too involved with their tenants. Doesn't erase the potential connection, though. That witness, he was right not to say anything. Now we have to deal with this unnecessary mess. That's what trials are about, though. You gotta explore every point to be sure of the truth. Only if it matters for what we established, and this doesn't. As procrastination, are you a procrastinator? I'll answer that later. No matter. Once everyone calmed down, we will remind you that this case remains unchanged. Finish trial. The bluff will be called. It's fine. Just need to have the next bluff ready by then. Least abusive company CEO. Can't deny he has it. A temper. But his testimony still stands. Think that's good enough for an arrest? Just because some big shot said he saw her? The trial will decide her fate. I am the trial. Dumb claim. You're not even the judge. She didn't get it. Oh well, not everyone can be as cultured as me. Are you the storm that is approaching? Stonks. Very many. That's apparently how we got rich. Wish it was that easy for the rest of us. You get it, right? I get it. I guess. I'm not close to that magnitude. Commodore Squad, let's go! Wait a second, boss. Did you mention owning some stocks before? How'd that turn out? Magic trick. I seem to have one. Whenever I invest in anything, it crashes within a week. Really? There's gotta be a way to exploit that. You can bet that if I tried, the opposite will happen. And can you try it with me? Send me to the moon. Stay rational. I was speaking figuratively. Going with a rational vibe, just how you game the system, though. Another bet, Lewis? Right now, boss? Not boss. That's weird. Well, somebody's gotta always be the boss, right? You're effectively everyone's boss here right now, by all metrics. Guess so. No matter. I lost so much today. I want a chance to win something back. An outlook. So now's as good a time as any for a bet. Alright. You want an easy win, then I can just bet on the defendant's team. You'll regret having no faith in us, buddy. Doubling down. No point to that. Besides, I'd rather not create a conflict of interest, implying he'd be helpful. What do we do then? Guess we can guess how this investigation will go. Suits me. I bet that there won't be any ghost. Oh, fair. That's what I was gonna bet. That's what I was gonna say. Can't have you intentionally slack off while you're down there. Feels like she knows him well. Not that it takes much time to figure out what kind of guy he is. I guess you got a point there. There's really a ghost down there somewhere. I'm bound to find them with my guard instincts. Those are on such a roll today. Don't count the outliers. Good luck. Be good though. Be thorough. I can't believe you found the highest IQ lawyer in the world. Mind telling me how you managed to hire such a pro? Pure coincidence. She happened to be present today. Cool. Is it also coincidence that she has it out personally for Aurelia? Must be. You can't expect me to buy that. Doesn't matter. I only care about her winning the trial. If you think she has a reason for being here, ask her. Enlighten yourself. I might, though my fingers ain't crossed for any sort of enlightenment taking place. Can we ask her? Alright. Sorry, I'm afraid you're not going anywhere without me. Did you decide to join the official Lilian fan club or something? Gotta warn you, the last one who did that got arrested. Well, I'll think about that. But I've really got no choice but to tag along, man. I get it. Creep's got a creep. I need to be like that. I think we make a pretty good team so far. Now that's like so heckin' debatable. No getting away, I guess. Let's go. They're certainly an interesting team. Alright. Who's here? What is going on in here? Oh, it's freezing. Welcome to April. Throws you back into winter when you least expect it. Can we go somewhere else? We already went over this room. I doubt you'll find anything else here. Not worth it. No, stop being such a baby. It's freezing at the time. Do the opposite just to spite me. I can see you're clearly freezing just as much. Getting used to it now. Besides, there's at least one guy here who doesn't seem to mind. Oh, hello. Planet Crump. Well, look who's up to something. He's focused on that puzzle cube in his hands. Is he trying to solve it? What an odd thing to do in this situation. Nobody gets to point out the hypocrisy of that thought. Ah, Gova, how you doing, my man? Mr. Gunn, a pleasure to see you again. Given the circumstances, it's difficult to say I'm doing fine. Relatable, man. You were actually right. About the auction being a bad idea. Indeed. I wish it hadn't been so. I see the perceptive young lady is with you. Oh yeah, she keeps following me around today. I felt sorry for her, so I allowed it and helped her out. Excuse me? Where's this help you're talking about? My condolences. It is quite a difficult situation. It was hard to watch how much you struggled to assist Miss Chase. It must be quite painful to see your wife accused like this. Eh? Right, she told him that for some reason. Maybe a little bit. Perhaps a free refreshment may help easing your worries. The cake currently comes with soda, additional, quite literal, frosting. You're killing me, bro. See these two get along ticks me off somehow. Sorry, buddy. I'm not in the mood for playing around any longer. You're gonna tell me what you're really doing here. And unfortunately for you, food bribery won't work on me. So you can take your little food back. We're thinking about giving the Kova Strawberry Crisis a try. Very absolutely, totally not. That is unfortunate. Let me know if you change your mind. I, for one, am in. Ah, Mr. God, there you go. Oof, the cake faction keeps growing. Is it too late to stop them? I'm warning you. If you're a vampire, I'm prepared. You are under a mistaken impression. I'm unsure how I caused it. You talk about curses and your outfit kinda checks out. All that's missing is a cape. My apologies, I'm only those sweets luring the helpless maidens. I really approve the point. I guess modern times call for modern means. I assure you, I am but a normal human. Sounds like what a non-human would say. Well, it does feel like he's telling the truth. Totally another vampire trick. Yeah, I'm closing in on the twist. Dr. Leeds' knife. Dr. Leeds' knife. You wouldn't happen to know if it was examined closely. Oh, does he know something? You bet. We found a cryptic note inside. I see. What does it mean? My apologies, I have no idea. What? He's not even lying. I felt like he had some suspicion, but now he doesn't. Ah, why does everyone keep having stupid reactions to this? Hand over the goods, buddy. Let's not become uncivil. I will give you as many as you want. I don't want your stupid cookies. You gotta give me some info. Pronto. I will do my best. Tell me what you want to know. The gun, duh? Why do you think I showed that to you? Ah, certainly. Afraid there isn't much I know about it. It's a common 9mm handgun model. There's nothing notable about it. Easy to conceal. I didn't notice she had it when we first met. It's a common gun, you can't really prove it here, right? It's hers, right? It would be easy to establish by submitting a trace request with a serial number. Something that is unfortunately impossible in our situation. And you didn't even see her bring the gun. Huh. Yeah, about that. You and I both know she brought the gun. She admitted as much. But you don't know if that was this gun. I'm pretty sure it was, madam. Pretty sure ain't worth squat. There's no second gun. That dude totally confirmed there is. He only heard a gunshot. He didn't see it. But, well... let's say there was another gun. What's the argument? I call it the gun swap theory. Oh, not this. The theory is that her gun was swapped with this one at some point. At some point, huh? I need to keep working a little more on that one. You better be ready. I'm onto something. He's cooking. What are you doing? I'm coming for your dirty laundry. Hand it over. My apologies, I don't think we're in a position to worry about hygiene. I meant that figuratively, and you knew that. Well, I must disappoint you. There's nothing humble. Already busted your cover, buddy. That you did. I suppose I have gotten too used to it. Doesn't feel too legit if you need to point it out that often. Well, I'm open to answering what I can. Ask away. Alright. Who are you really? Pardon, I believe I told you before. I am but a humble local merchant. Didn't I tell you that lying is bad, mister? Went easy on you back there and only addressed your special cake. But now you no longer get away with that. Let's talk about your other lies. There must be a misunderstanding. Oh, you heard me. Pretty much everything you said back then was a lie. You're not a local merchant. You don't believe in any curses. And Anderkova is not your actual name. Unsurprisingly, given the obvious disguise you're wearing. Impossible! How were you able to see through my cover? Yeah, it totally took some effort to notice that's a fake beard. Wait, what? Not in the least surprised you didn't have a clue. My apologies, miss. It appears I took this too lightly. I will admit that I have made an effort to conceal my real identity. Huh. Guess straight up accusations do work sometimes. Given the situation, I suppose it is warranted to share information. I cannot let you know my real name, but I am actually working for the government. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, to be exact. You serious, man? I can't believe I've been getting cake from an FBI agent. This goes to show how much respect I've earned. You two are made for each other. You're both so mid at your jobs. I presume you have some questions as to my purpose here. You can bet on that. Very well. I will attempt to answer to the best of my ability. Oh. Oh, okay. That just loops. Let's start a new conversation. Anyways. Your mission. There's no way an FBI agent would be hanging around this place for no reason. I was stationed here due to a certain situation. This will be a bit of a longer story. Perhaps you want a snack. Less sweets, more sweet facts. My apologies. By now it is a force of habit. My assignment began around 4 years ago. You may already now have an idea what event prompted it. That's when this lead guy got busted by Aurelia. This news was very troubling with the government. You might find it odd how a dead man could still pose a security risk. The problem was his former position in the Secret Service. Oh, you gotta be... Is everyone a secret agent here? Don't tell me you work for the CIA, madam. Agent Maristella at your service. Any spots left? Can I be NSA? Sounds like too much work, actually. Seriously, though. Soldier. Doctor of Psychology. Secret Service. Member of a hitman organization. That dude sure got around. Secret Service, that's an unexpected posting. You can barely handle one job at a time. Mr. Leeds' expertise has always been psychology. During his time in the military, he was mainly in charge of the soldiers' mental well-being. After he was done serving, he was approached by the Secret Service. With his unrivaled knowledge in criminal psychology, he was considered invaluable as a profiler. I can buy he knew real well how to think like a criminal. Certainly. I think you can see why this turned into a problem. Dr. Leeds' position allowed him access to all manner of sensitive information. After his deeds came to light, the Department of Homeland Security ordered an internal investigation. You likely figured it out by now, but I was sent here as a result of said investigation. The mission is to prevent any scandals and to collect any stolen government property, if identified. Does that answer your question? I'm starting to get it. There are a couple of things you better explain to me, though. Of course. Feel free to ask away. Should you really be that eager to share all of this? This is good. Why not just rush the place? From what I get here, you've been at this for 4 years. I get the impression your investigation is kind of passive. Quite right. I have been carefully observing this building. There weren't many opportunities to investigate inside, but I did what I was able to do. That's the thing, though. Why did you just rush the place? Pardon? I do not follow what you are trying to suggest. Well, that's what you guys usually do, right? You go like, FBI, open up! And then you kick the door in. Maybe even the ceiling. Not sure that's feasible here. I'm afraid that approach would have its own unwarranted ramifications. This tower is property of a private entity. If we did as you suggest, it would be its own scandal. Mrs. Holden was managing the real estates of many wealthy individuals. Individuals who would prefer the government to stay out of their business. It wouldn't just be Mr. Neelan kicking up a storm. All of her clients would have made sure the media portrayed this as scandalous as possible. But you could have gotten a warrant first. Seems easy enough in this case. That alternative would not have been any better. It's bad enough that a government agent turned out to be this corrupt. If it came to light he was using government resources to assist a hitman organization, well... To acquire a warrant, we would have had to admit that much. You must have noticed that the trust in law enforcement is at an unprecedented low. It's pretty obvious you guys need to step it up, yeah? That's why this matter was to be handled as delicately as possible. Really though? He's a known member of a criminal organization. I feel like they should have been able to come up with some excuse to check his stuff. There's something he's keeping from me. So, you sure you should be telling me any of this? There is no need for concern. With all due respect, nobody would believe you if you tried to share this conversation. Hey, this FBI agent just told me about his secret investigation. There. Still, I would prefer if you stayed discreet about my true profession. You should have worried about that before spilling the beans. Perhaps some free refreshments will appeal to your goodwill. No shot! Either way, I am going to deny this conversation ever happened. Apologies in advance. I can have the guard back me up if it comes to that. I like my sweets, though. Don't let the cake sway you. It can't be that good. The curse. It's starting to sound like our captor was right. Those people that vanished. Don't tell me they stumbled upon a government secret hidden here. Did you silence them? And then cover up the truth with this Reaper curse story? There's been a misunderstanding. Please, don't get the wrong idea. The BU-2 incident happened before my mission began. I cannot make any statement about that, but I assure you that we did not kill the 2 unfortunate individuals who died in that subsequent years. However, it is true that I ordered the police not to reveal certain facts about those cases. I then used the circumstances of their deaths to promote the rumors of a curse. My reasoning was that this would ensure people would avoid the tower, and thus not stumble upon anything inconvenient. If the building was abandoned, that would have been optimal for the success of my mission. Mine keep superstitious locals away, but you underestimate human curiosity. Guess that didn't quite work, because that manager kept hogging the place. It's true. That made it difficult to progress. Still, as long as things stayed like that, we were content with that status quo. This changed when Mrs. Holden announced there would be a public auction. I get how that could be a problem. You might have ended up straight up selling that secret stuff. Indeed. At first I tried to delay the auction, pointing to the fact Mr. Lee is not legally dead yet. However, the property has been abandoned for far too long. I couldn't stop them from going ahead. Instead, you just tried to scare away the guests at the entrance. Yes, well, my success was limited in that regard, as you see. That's why you told us not to steal anything or go to off-limits places. Because the chances of running into a secret that hadn't been found yet was higher there. Absolutely. And while the sold items would become harder to track, there would at least be a record. If anything was secretly taken, of course, we would likely never be able to find it again. Well, I can't say I feel sorry for you. You interfered with the investigation into the deaths of 2 people. Your misgivings are understandable. Alas, it could not be helped. At the very least, I can assure you that we didn't help any culprit escape justice as a result. Their close ones still deserve to know the truth, whatever it is. The truth may not be any consolation. You too? Here we go again. In any case, I hope sharing all of this has conveyed the importance of this matter. This investigation should not be handled by civilians. If you find anything suspicious, make sure not to touch it and report it to me. I can guarantee an exquisite reward. You can't just solve everything with those. Make no promises. Nothing good will come from trying to uncover these secrets, I assure you. It is bound to lead to tragedy. I have been earnest with you so far, have I not? He's obviously still hiding stuff, but the story seems to be closer to the truth than not. At least that's the vibes I'm getting. With that said, please excuse me. This place appears to be clear. But there are still other areas I need to investigate. As I mentioned, this conversation never happened. My apologies. Government secrets. Could those be what Aurelia was looking for? Ander, I can't believe this, man. Thought we were comrades. Don't tell me he was just nice to me because I could give him easy access to this place. That's rough, buddy. That's how it goes sometimes. That's just how it be. Most people that are nice do it because they want something. That's why true friendship is rare. Precious. In that case, I won't give up on him. Might have approached me because of his job. I'm sure we formed something deeper along the way. Are you sure it's not just your stomach competing against your brain? Totally gonna snitch. Other people might know something useful about this cover-up. Anyway, we're free to look around now. Though the trial went, there's at least one thing I want to check out again. Just need to get over with it. Get it over with before the temperature kills me. Obvious thing. Hey, look at what we have here. It's a curtain that may or may not have important clues behind it. I get the feeling it does, so I'm going to take a look. It's not like some guard is going to stop me, right? That would be so incompetent. Nobody would be so stupid to not at least let me do a basic check. You don't have to rub it in, you know. I don't have to, but I absolutely will. Look, I'll keep my word and pay. Isn't that enough? No, you deserve this. Really nice guard instincts you got there. Truly setting a new standard. I'm requesting permission to burst into tears. Permission denied. They just keep getting worse. Now, why don't we take a look again at your mark of shame? Open curtain number 1. What? Whoa! That witness! What are you doing behind there, man? Dear God, he's freezing cold. Can't hear what you're saying. The cold multiplied his natural stutter. This is hopeless. Stay with him. I'll get a blanket. Good God. Thank you. I think I'm better now. Okay, so what were you doing there, behind the curtain? Hiding. From him. Oh, given the end of the trial, he must be talking about. Mr. Neeland is looking for me. He is very displeased at the moment. Yeah, we were able to tell. I'm not sure what will happen if he finds me. Boss is gonna chew you out, huh? I can relate. You should have really picked a more comfortable spot, though. I thought the cold might discourage him from looking here. Come to think of it, I never really learned what this guy was actually up to. He's also the one that saw Dr. Lead on his ghost or whatever. Maybe some useful clues I can get out of him. When we do that... with gun. Fess up. That wasn't me! It might be too much to hold him at gunpoint. He's never gonna be useful at this rate, though. Alright, I'll ask calmly. You ever seen this? No, I mean, not before the trial. Going by his reaction, that's legit. Imagine this dude's reaction. Imagine this dude's reaction to that. That might get him talking. Nah, he'd just get totally incoherent. Have some food. I get it now. It was you who stole this cake. What cake? There's no point in playing dumb. We already know. Case closed. What are you doing? Can I ask? You don't. I'm busy interrogating. Does that always involve showing random things and making stuff up? That's how you get them talking. And it's a good vibe check. So you always do this. Okay. Yeah, I bet you'll be surprised by my results. Alright, let's get back to it. What's next? You've been snooping around this place. Tell me the secret. I'm not sure what you mean. I bet you know. Please stop. Wait, there's one thing I can tell you. Wow, that worked. Mr. Leland once told me something about this place. I'll let you in on something. You're gonna need all 5 senses to dig up the secret of this place. What do you mean by that? I have no idea either. He said that back before the tower project was cancelled. After that, he seemed to lose interest. So no guarantee this secret ever actually got implemented. Well, it does feel like we found parts of a riddle, the notes and stuff. 5 senses. I guess the cube could be for touch. The living could be tuning fork is for hearing. Wait, weren't those things that belonged to that lead dude? Were they really here from the start? Never mind, it's totally useless. If there's really a secret, I'm just gonna look everywhere instead of bothering with some silly riddle. Alright. Leave off here and talk to Mr. Ropoli next time.